This is Newsbreak 26 in southwest New Brunswick. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Here's what's happening in our part of the world. An inquest is underway into the death of 27-year-old Hilary Hooper of St. George, originally of Beaver Harbour, who died by suicide in the psychiatric unit of the St. John Regional Hospital in December of 2020. A jury of 5 people was selected on Monday at the St. John Law Courts to hear evidence presented during the inquest. Several witnesses are testifying to paint the most accurate picture of the events that happened leading up to Hooper's death, including hospital staff members who were responsible for checking in on Hooper regularly while she was a psychiatric patient. Hooper's mother, Patty Borthwick, has been in the courtroom for the inquest, holding a picture of her daughter and a box containing her ashes. When Borthwick left the court after day 1, she told reporters she wanted to digest more from the inquiry before publicly giving her thoughts on what she is hearing from witnesses.
I just have to mull over today. We had a good day, like no big tears, so tomorrow I can talk better. I gotta go home and think. But we have Hilary up with us, and we have her ashes in my purse, and she'll be here tomorrow.
Borthwick has been fighting tirelessly for answers since her daughter's death, doing everything from organizing a petition for an independent investigation into Horizon Health Network, to filing requests under the Right to Information and Protection of Privacy Act, to meeting with the Premier. Her work paid off when the request for the inquest was granted back in November. At that time, I spoke to Borthwick, who said she hoped the inquest would give her and her family some closure.
I'm really hoping just to get some regular answers that might not be important to everybody else, but to our family it is. And just to find out, like, when did you find my daughter? What kind of, timetable was she on for being checked? How much staff were on versus how many patients were on, to try to find a reason or an explanation how she could possibly get away with what she got away with.
Borthwick also said that she hopes the recommendations by the jury will help improve the healthcare system and prevent more deaths by suicide in the future.
If they have to make changes, it'll be because of Hilary, so it's not like, she died in vain. And we're also, besides this, we're also pursuing the legislation change to the Coroner's Act, because right now, if you are a patient under the care of a hospital and you die by suicide, you do not get an inquest because you're not listed under the Coroner's Act. Although if you have a portable wood mill and you die, you get an inquest. So this way, if we can also get the legislation changed, then we can make sure going forward any family who has a loved one in the hospital, heaven forbid that should ever pass this way, they will get an inquest into the person's death, rather than the family fighting for almost 2 years to get any kind of response or any kind of answers.
After hearing feedback from residents of Campobello Island, the independent commission responsible for redrawing New Brunswick's 49 electoral ridings released its final report on Monday and will no longer move Campobello from the riding of St. Croix to Fundy the Isles St. John West, as it had originally outlined in the preliminary report released back in December.
Mistakenly or otherwise, we thought funding the Isles, that all the Isles would be together and everybody would be content with that. That wasn't the case. We had representation which suggested that it was fine in St. Croix.
The final report isn't necessarily final. The Commission will receive written objections over the next 14 days, which must be signed by 2 members of the Legislative Assembly and identify the section of the report being objected to. The Commission then has another 30 days to consider those objections, but isn't obligated to take them into consideration. After that, the Provincial Cabinet is required by law to adopt the new ridings without changes. The next provincial election is scheduled for October 21st, 2024. That's all the news I have for you. For more stories and online exclusives, follow us on Facebook at CHCO.TV.
A news and public affairs production of CHCO-TV, New Brunswick's only source for independent community